Welcome to a special edition of the S.E.M podcast. This is a reaction and a special message sharing conversation between Jack and I. And we're going to start out with our reaction of the temple being announced, being built in Edinburgh. Jack, what was your initial reaction to that?
Oh man, just totally stoked. I'm picturing it in my mind already. Temple in Edinburgh. It's a city that was made for a temple, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think the thought that came through my mind was finally, it's where I've been listening for what seems like forever for that announcement to happen. And honestly, I think in the last conference in October, they had announced some temples that were, Africa and more in Utah and all these different. And I was just like, it's probably not going to ever happen. Like I had that thought that ran through my head, and so I'm glad that it wasn't as long as I thought it may have been. So, but yeah, tears were just running down my face. It was such an amazing experience to hop onto Facebook, and luckily we have that group of friends that are part of our Facebook family, and just were able to converse amongst each other about all the joy that we all felt for the people there, and the amazing opportunity that it'll be for both the members and also the future missionaries in the mission to share about this amazing thing that's happening in the not too distant future, which is super exciting. So
Yeah. I've thought about that since, like how this will impact the work. I mean, just incredible. That's one thing I missed being in the mission. I didn't get to go to the temple for 2 years, and I feel like that was pretty hard. And now to have it there as a resource for the church and for the missionaries, just awesome.
yeah, I immediately thought about my nephew who starts his mission in the Scotland Ireland mission here in July. And my mother-in-law reacted to that announcement and said, "A temple in Ethan's mission." And I went, "Hang on a second, that's my
My mission.
but she's excited for her grandson, so I get it. But yeah, I'm excited for him because he's gonna have that 2 years to allow opportunity to share about this thing that's happening. I mean, I'm sure there'll be progressive updates about where the site will be, and then obviously where the temple is built and how it is phased as it is built more and more. And then the obviously the exciting part will be the open house. I mean, can you imagine the amount of people in Scotland that will get an opportunity to walk through a temple? Like
Yeah.
just, just
Yeah.
unbelievable stuff that's
I
taking
hope
place there.
everyone I hope goes,
Yeah,
takes
exactly.
advantage of that opportunity.
We should start a bus tour and get everybody going through there. That'd be a lot of amazing things to see. So we're excited about it, and obviously, as we see more things, we'll share it throughout the podcast. One thing that we did want to share as well is we received an email from one of our listeners. Um, Her name is Cindy Saw, and this came actually the evening after the temple announcement came, and it was pretty amazing. And I just want to read it for everyone so that they can hear what she wrote, and her statement that she gave us after she gave us permission to share this. So she said, "I want to thank you, Zach and Jack, for putting together the SEM podcast. It has meant the world to me to follow the missionary stories over the past year. I lost my husband to COVID 2 years ago, and I know it was divine intervention that brought me to your podcast channel and saved me from my grief. I did not serve a mission there, only visited. My great grandfather was a lawyer and author from Kincardine, O'Neill, Scotland, who immigrated to the US. My oldest son will soon submit his mission papers, and it saddens me that the SEM is no longer in existence. I got busy in life and forgot the motherland, but your podcasts have brought my love for that land back to my remembrance. My ancestors were not members in this life, but have hopefully accepted the work done for them. I was so thrilled today when President Nelson announced the Edinburgh, Scotland temple. I was watching at church and could not contain my excitement, yahooing out loud in the chapel with my hands flying into the air. My thoughts immediately went to the S.E.M. Congratulations to all the missionaries over the years who worked hard to bring people of Scotland to Christ. And now a temple will be built. I can imagine all your excitement that this has come to pass. Maybe I'll recognize some of you at the dedication. Eternal thanks for the blessing your work has been in my life. The humor, stories, and people willing to share are deeply appreciated, and the love for Christ is felt. Cheerio from Cindy Saw. She then said, in giving us permission to share this, she said, I just want all the missionaries who share their mission on the podcast to know that what they've done is so important, even to, in quotations, outsiders. As for my son, I really hope the Lord sees fit to send him to Scotland and Ireland, or even England, with a winky face. My husband was from Kauai, and that is where my son is hoping to go. We shall see who has greater pull in the kingdom. Haha. Looking forward to each and every podcast. Thank you again for what you're doing. Um, that had a great impact on me. And as I had conversation with Cindy, um, and the thought that came through my mind as a result of that was every single one of us in this podcast have had an impact. And whether you think you do or not, I mean, yes, we come on and we laugh and enjoy the fond memories that come from serving in Scotland together, but I don't think I ever gave two thoughts about someone else discovering it and enjoying it as much as we have as former missionaries. So, um, and I immediately was drawn to the thought that, again, as we've said before, every person's experience in Scotland is valid and matters. And so, those of you who have said to us, I'm not interested or I'm not quite ready, please know that we would love to have you at any point in time. We're not going away, as we've said that before. And hopefully, you will muster up that courage to come on the podcast in the future and share your experiences that Cindy and others who didn't serve in Scotland will love listening to, because you got the opportunity to serve there, even though she didn't, but she's living vicariously through you. So that's another invitation. Hopefully you'll come out and join us more in the future. But that was a really cool email to get from Cindy. So thank you. And we appreciate you being one of our loyal listeners, Cindy. That's wonderful.
Yeah, Cindy, we love you as our sister in Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. We love you, Cindy, and appreciate your email. And if anyone else is listening that wants to reach out to us, feel free to reach us via our email, sempodcast@51spylaw.com, or just hop over onto 51spylaw.com and check out our website. And if you feel like it, fill out one of those contact sheets so we can chat with you about the mission. So anyway, this has been a special edition of the S.E.M podcast, and we'll wave cheerio until next time.
Adenu.